welcome today. I am Dr. Maggie Yu, MD, and I'm an integrative physician focusing our program on transforming autoimmune disease naturally. And today we are interviewing Kathy. Kathy just graduated from our program, and I cannot wait to introduce her to you and show her what her outcomes has been, which has been tremendous. So without further ado, Kathy, I'd love for you to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kathy. I'm 45. I have 3 kids, and I'm a nurse.
There is a lot of people that don't realize that nurses and doctors is a high number of the people that are in our program. There's actually a huge number of healthcare providers in our program. Why did you, as a nurse, actually, being a person with autoimmune disease and being a nurse with that, put you in a specific, interesting conundrum? So can you tell us a little bit about your autoimmune disease? And then secondly, how being a nurse was a help or a hinder?
So my autoimmune diseases, I was first diagnosed with Hashimoto's autoimmune thyroid, hypothyroid about 20 years ago. And then about 9 years ago, started to have joint pain and a lot of fatigue, and actually having episodes or flare-ups of really severe joint pain and a lot of fatigue, tiredness, cloudy thinking, trouble concentrating, and just really, if I did anything physical or if I had any kind of stress in my life, whether it was physical or emotional, it would cause me these flare-ups. And over the next about 9 years, I just really suffered with that, and it got worse and worse. And then I ended up also having idiopathic chronic hives. I had some other symptoms that doctors just really kind of brushed off and couldn't figure out where exactly they were coming from or what they were part of. But I really think it was all part of the autoimmune. I was having like hot flashes, insomnia, had a lot of anxiety. And just in the last 9 years, I spent a lot of time going to different doctors, different specialists. I've gone, out of state to try to get help with my issues. And I really was just getting medications to help my symptoms, which would cause me more symptoms or side effects. And it was really got to the point where I had never really thought about looking into any kind of natural medicine or anything outside of, just our normal, medical doctors and things that I was so familiar with as from being a nurse. But from failing over and over and over again, with different doctors and them just really not being able to help me, I finally decided to look into what my other options were, and that's what led me to your program.
So what I'm hearing is that as a nurse, you know all about the conventional treatment for all the myriad of autoimmune disease diagnoses and symptoms that you were having, and they weren't working.
Right, absolutely.
Well, why then would you then go and seek alternative or complementary care? I mean, you're a nurse, you were trained in conventional medicine. You should know what are any other tools that was left for you to do in the conventional world?
No, I felt like I had completely exhausted everything. And so it really made me seek out something new that maybe I just wasn't that familiar with, and see if it was something that could help me, because I'd exhausted every other avenue.
So my next question is going to be, can you tell me a story of how bad rock bottom was for you?
Oh, yeah, I got to the point where I was doing well in my career, and I was an executive nurse, and the stress of my job was really causing me more and more physical symptoms. And so I literally just had to quit my job and take a work from home position as a nurse, which of course, financially made a big impact on my life, my family's life. And even with that, I was still having symptoms to where I was questioning in the next year if I would be able to work at all.
Kathy, you know, I went through the same thing. I mean, when I was, by the time, I mean, you know, symptoms started with both my children after my children were born, and I didn't even know it. And it wasn't until close to 10 years later that I was finally went into early menopause, and the brain fog, the fatigue, the joint pain, and the irritability was so bad that I lost my job and I lost my marriage. That is the price of having autoimmunity and all these symptoms not being addressed. Was literally my life was taken from me.
Right. And you know, I felt like I had no quality of life because I really just couldn't do anything that would physically stress me, or, you know, even the smallest stress in life, you know, with my kids or my job or anything would just cause everything to be worse. And that all caused me to be just severely depressed. And so I really just felt like I didn't have any quality of life and things weren't going to get any better.
I agree, because what I found was when I got really severely depressed like that as well, I mean, almost suicidally depressed, it was so bad that I really lost trust. Not just, you know, I lost trust in my colleagues because they were offering me birth control pills and antidepressants, which made me fatter, meaner, and sicker. So I lost faith in my colleagues, but they were offering the only thing I could offer myself, honestly. Number two, I lost faith in all the research that I was doing on Google myself, because it was a myriad of just crap that didn't work, and they were all confusing and contradictory, and I'm a doctor. Mm-hmm. And number three is, I think more importantly, I lost faith in myself. I couldn't not, in my depressed and anxious state, I lost trust in my ability to even make good decisions. And I'm the doctor.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I can totally understand that. You know, I've always been a, you know, go get 'em kind of person. If I wanted something, I would do whatever it takes to get it. You know, whether it was, you know, to get another degree or, you know, whatever in life. I've never been a person who ever gave up, ever. And I felt like I got to the point where I had just given up, that this was the best it was ever going to be for me. And it was horrible. And that, you know, and thinking that that's all I had to look forward to was this and nothing better, you know, was really, really hurtful and made me depressed, made me not want to be around family, made me isolate myself. And my life was really at a low. I mean, it was really at bottom, rock bottom.
Trust me, it was there exactly myself. And, you know, and if it wasn't because of my kids, I don't know if I'd be here, because it was that bad.
Yeah, I totally understand.
So a lot of people resonate with that. And because this is a really common story we hear with people with autoimmune disease, being misunderstood, mistreated, misguided, and honestly, no guidance and no treatment. It really is just band-aiding of our symptoms, which made us worse. So let's fast forward. You joined our program about 2 months ago. Why did you do it?
I thought it was a last-ditch effort. You know, it's kind of, this is something totally different than what I've tried before. I've tried everything else. My doctors are making me doubt myself, you know, like, is this all in my head? So, you know, it was kind of like, okay, I'm going to try this. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to have to live with it. So that's why I did it.
You basically got to the point, what the hell more do I have to lose?
Right. Exactly.
Well, let's fast forward now. Let's go to right now. We're 2 months later. People want to know, what are your outcomes?
Oh my God. My life has completely changed. Sorry. I have energy now. I am not wanting to sleep all the time. I'm not depressed. I don't have the anxiety. I have made some major changes in life that I felt like I couldn't before, as I just didn't have the strength or the, you know, the clarity of mind to make those changes. You know, I feel good every day. I wake up feeling good. I go to bed feeling good. I sleep so much better for the most part. You know, I feel so much healthier. I've lost 21 pounds.
Whoa!
Yeah. And
Ouch.
I had tried to lose weight so many times, and no matter what I did, I couldn't lose weight. I just couldn't. And it was so frustrating, trying to starve myself or trying to cut, sugar out, this and that out, and just making myself miserable trying to lose weight. And here, with the program, it's just, I'm not even trying. It just comes off. And I feel so much healthier. I definitely, I get up and go. I get out and do things. I'm not isolating anymore. I even, I feel so much happier. My life is so full of quality things that I look forward to every day now, instead of dreading another day.
Holy hell, Kathy. So I want to hear about what some of these quality things are. Can you share with me an experience that you had even within the last week that shows what the quality things that you can do in your life now that you couldn't 2 months ago?
Absolutely. My 13-year-old son is, so I've been, fairly sick for about 9 years with him, as far as not being able to do things physically or stress myself physically or anything. And so it was always, hey, Mom, can we go ride bikes? Can we do this? Oh, I can't, I can't do that because it'll cause me, to be sick tomorrow if I do that today. And so he was so used to that. And after I started to lose the weight, I told him I really wanted to start working out. And did he want to do that with me? And he was so excited about that. And so we've been working out together and lifting weights together. And it's just amazing because he is still, are you sure? Is this going to be okay, Mom? Are you going to be able to do this? And it's amazing because I can, and I don't have the pain. I don't have the fatigue. I can enjoy it and not worry about what it's going to cause me. And it's just enriched my relationship with him because I can actually spend time with him and not just be so tired I can't get off the couch. So, my relationship with him has totally changed, and I feel like I'm the full-time parent that I wanted to be, but just couldn't be.
Wow. I mean, I'm going to ask you did you think 2 months ago that this was even possible?
No, I think that's the biggest surprise to me is, I think I had in mind, things might get a little better. I might, not have as much pain kind of thing, but the complete turnaround that has happened in my life and, no pain, no fatigue, just feeling alive and feeling like I'm 45 and not, 75. It's beyond amazing.
So what is something in the program that because it sounds to me like this wasn't just a physical change. There was, to me, what I'm hearing is like an emotional, spiritual transformation here.
Absolutely.
People don't understand, they don't come into the program asking for that, nor did you. And I want to ask, what did you discover about yourself through the course of this program spiritually?
I think that I became my illness. That was me. That's kind of what I was. I was just what it caused me to be. And once I started feeling good again, I kind of found myself. I found out that, oh my gosh, I have the time and the energy to, find hobbies that I like, to go back to doing things that I used to be able to do that I enjoyed. Like I said, I stopped isolating. I'm getting out and doing things and enjoying life. And I feel like I've found myself.
So this is the kind of spiritual work and self-reawakening work that we do that people don't realize is actually a huge part of our program. And that's always the biggest surprise. People come in thinking, because I'm a medical doctor and it's just all this medical stuff, and it is. But for me, it's really an alignment between all the education and learning that you're going to do up here, right? But there's also a alignment with what's happening with your body as those changes take place. But then spiritually in your heart, that has to come front and center in alignment with all the stuff you're learning in your brain, all the spiritual changes in your heart, and all the physical changes in your body has to be in alignment. And that's why we get these crazy results.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a living example of that. And it's difficult for people to understand.
Yeah, I mean, my outlook on life is completely different. It used to be so negative, honestly. Oh, I could do that, but nah, I'm too tired, or I didn't even want to think about what I could do to make my life better. I was just stuck. And now it's constantly, oh, I've always wanted to do this. I should look into that. Or, I just have this hope and this feeling alive that I didn't have before.
So, was a big investment of your time. This is about 4 or 5 hours every week during the 8 weeks that you were in our program that you did. And in the beginning, I'm sure neither you nor your family probably thought that was a lot of time and commitment. So there was a time commitment, there is a financial commitment, and there's also a commitment to you and yourself to do the emotional work that you needed to find yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it worth it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, many times over. I would do it over and over again. I would never regret this. It's the best thing that I've ever done for myself, honestly, and for my family, because they have their mom back. My kids have my mom back, their mom back. My mom has her daughter back. It's such a big, huge change. I feel like I was just existing, and now I'm living.
Kathy, I mean, that's so profound. What you're saying is that you basically affected 3 generations. Not only did you find yourself, but your mother got her daughter back, and your children got their mother back. At the minimum, that's what's happened. And so a lot of people, probably including you, when they look at this, I mean, there's a lot of skepticism and doubt. Like, this is a doctor and a program I'm just seeing on the internet. And I'm sure you were skeptical in the beginning as well. And so my question for you is, what would you say to people who are skeptical? They feel like they've been burned 1,000 times and anybody can just say anything. What would you say to answer that?
I was skeptical in the beginning. How could this turn things around when I've tried so many times and not been able to do that with other ways? I would say, for me, what did I have to lose? I had nothing left to lose. And I really wish, that I would have tried this so many years ago, because look at the years I would have gotten back, the life I would have gotten back, better relationships with my family over all these years with my children, years that I could have done things I wanted to do that I didn't think were possible. So I know it's hard to believe. I know it sounds, a little, out there, like, how could this change so dramatically? But, it's been completely life-changing.
Well, I think, thank you for that. And I think for a lot of people, they think, oh, it's a lot of money to invest into myself. But I think what people don't realize, and we'll talk about this, is that there is such a much higher cost to staying sick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You and I know this. I'm a doctor and you're a nurse. We know how much medical care costs. And here's the thing is, every time you look at like investing in something, you got to judge it from a return on investment. What is your ROI? Mm-hmm. And when you actually invest the copays, the ER visits, all the years of suffering and pain, the physical therapy, the depression, the counselor, and what the heck, if you stay there 1 year, 2 years, and you're possibly even losing your job, not performing your job, and you're missing 1 to 2 years of your son's life, mm-hmm. or your relationship, or your mom, like, what is the price of staying sick? It's not free. It is way more expensive than taking a decision saying, I'm going to turn this around the next 2 months and start the rest of my life now, not just for me, but for my mom and for my son.
Right. Yeah. And just thinking it through before I made the decision to go with the program, it was, I was already making less money because I couldn't, perform the job that I'm fully capable of, but just couldn't physically handle it. And, so just that on top of all the medical bills and, everything that I had invested, even going out of state to try to find help, I felt like I had already invested so much in it that, was many times over what I was investing in this program.
So, Kathy, I want to say thank you. I mean, you're a very private person, and and you're a medical professional as well. This requires a lot of vulnerability for you to admit your own limitations, your own journey, your own lack of outcomes, and to come out the other side and really to have the gratitude and joy that you have now is, for me, the reason why I do this.
I wouldn't have what I have now without you, Dr. Maggie. And I'll never, ever be able to say thank you enough.
I want to say thank you to you, and thank you for your bravery for being on this interview, and you're inspiring thousands. And I just wanted to say thank you for that, and thank you for sharing your story. That was wonderful.
Sure.